Hey guys, it's Brigitte and I'm here in the urban farm and I'm going to tell you what you should be planting in March in zone 9 and 10. Now before I do that, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you're notified anytime we put out a video. Okay, so let's jump into it. It's March and here in San Diego we've had the craziest weather. It's been insane, rain, hail, snow, all kinds of crazy stuff. But that shouldn't make you forget that spring is around the corner and we've got lots of crops that you need to be planting now. So it can be a little confusing right now because we're at the very beginning of March and it's still a tiny bit chilly, but you need to start thinking ahead. So you need to start thinking about starting your transplants of crops that you typically start from seed. You grow up to a good size and then you plant out. Tomatoes, peppers, eggplants are all very popular choices. Now, you're actually going to see in some of our upcoming videos, our tomatoes are already started and we're super stoked to show you what they look like. We'll be starting tomato seeds from now all the way until middle of May to get them out to our farm. Now, a special note about these crops is you start them from seed, grow them out as a transplant, and they get planted out in the garden. And particularly peppers, I just want to point out, peppers really benefit from a heating mat that you put underneath them when you're starting them. They'll germinate quicker and more evenly, and if you've had trouble with peppers in the past, that's typically a telltale sign that the soil is not staying warm enough long enough. So put a heating pad on those babies. So these are all things you're going to start as transplants. Now, in case this is the very first video you've ever watched of ours, little recap is warm season crops tend to be all of your fruits. So those are tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, watermelons, corn, cucumbers, beans. Let's see how quickly I can say those. I know I missed some. And cool season crops are all your leafy greens and your brassicas. So broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, arugula, lettuce, all of those things, and all your root crops, beets, radishes, and carrots. Now, if you need a conclusive list, we've got one in here for you. You can check out our growing calendar, which tells you exactly what to plant each month and also shows you what cool season crops are and warm season crops are. So here in zone 9 and 10 specifically, we have a little bit of time left to do 1 or 2 more rounds of cool season crops. And those are things that grow very quickly and mature quickly. And spoiler alert, they're gonna mature even quicker this time of year because it's warming up and the days are getting longer. So you still have time to direct sow beets, radishes, and carrots. Things like leafy greens like chard, arugula, all of your quick to grow lettuces. You also can do a spring planting of potatoes. And then lastly, you can actually direct sow cucumbers and beans, but keep in mind, I put here use row cover. Now what's row cover? We have tons of videos on it, but basically it's a little blankie that you put on your crops that keeps it a little bit warmer when the temperatures are cooler. Now these 2 crops, I would say, wait towards the end of the month. Besides, you're going to be really busy planting all of these, and you can wait till it warms up a little bit later on in March to plant your cucumbers and beans. Now, the reason why I mention these is because they're going to grow very quickly, and you're going to harvest them, and you're going to get them out of the ground to make room for all of the things that you're starting from seed to get ready to transplant out. So here's a prime example of a super quick crop. These are my radishes, and I planted these out here because they're going to be ready in just a few more extra weeks, just about the time that I'm going to pull all these up to make room for my tomatoes. Now, I wouldn't want to put something in here like, I don't know, say broccoli, cabbage, because it's going to take way too long for those to grow and it's going to take up room that I need for my precious warm season crops. Also, spoiler alert, if you plant your broccoli, cabbage, or cauliflower now, you got to be pretty careful because they're going to have a tendency to want to go to flower as the days get longer. You can actually see I've got a little guy over here who's about done. Look at this little tiny guy, but he's almost immediately going to want to go to flower because he was planted too late. He's got aphids, he's got a lot of problems, but I don't have enough time during this time of year to get another round of cabbage, broccoli, or cauliflower grown in zone 9 and 10. And besides that, my focus right now is warm season crops. I want room in my garden for tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, watermelon, squash, all the delicious things that we enjoy during the summertime. They're going to be planted in the next coming months. Okay, so quick review here. An important call out is that cucumbers and beans are warm season crops. And the reason why they're put here is because you typically direct sow them. They grow very quickly, very, very easily if your soil is warm enough. You can use row cover to warm up the the ambient temperature itself so that the plants are happy if it's a little bit chilly. But they're very easy and quick to grow, and they can be direct sown towards the end of this month as soon as we get past this last little bit of cool weather. Now, again, this is what you should be planting in your garden, and maybe you can't fit all of these things. That's okay. Maybe you can only fit a few of them. Regardless, just remember that we're heading into spring. It's a glorious time in zone 9 and 10. We've gotten ample rain this year, so everybody's garden should be really thriving. Oh, I had a point and I lost it. Hold on. Ample rain. Oh, I know what I want to mention. And please, don't have garden FOMO. Everybody's freaking out thinking, is it too late? Did I miss out? You haven't missed out on anything. We're just beginning the spring fun, and you can get started now and be planting well into the summer in zone 9 and 10. Now let's get into some of my favorite things to plant right now. So as I mentioned, we're at an interesting stage where we're moving into spring. We still have kind of colder temperatures, but I want to start thinking about my warm season crops. However, I've got all this room in my garden. I need to plant stuff, so I'm going to plant quick crops that grow very quickly and mature and are ready so that they can get yanked out when my tomatoes and peppers and eggplants are ready to go into the garden. So that's things like beets. Beets are relatively quick to get to mature, and I will actually harvest them in the baby beet size, so I don't let them get really big. I harvest them when they're small and tender. I use the leafy greens in salads and other things. Really delicious. Some of my favorite lettuces, I'm going to plant these out and enjoy them with all of the spring herbs that I have. These are going to be ready in about 55 days, or I can harvest them at the baby leaf stage and they'll be ready even sooner. And some of my other favorite leafy greens. So again, no matter what you're planting right now, if you're thinking about cool season crops, remember that season is slowly ending. The door is closing on that season, and we're opening up the door to warm season. So make sure you don't fill your garden with a bunch of stuff that's not going to be happy in 4 to 6 to 8 weeks.